mentor group. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. All my socials up and rocking. Hmm. Try to let everybody pile in here too. Should be a good day though. We're kind of getting a nice little range going on here. All right. Okay, guys. I think I'm all set up. There's a little bit in there. Today, guys, is going to be, I think, a little tricky. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the why on that. So I'm gonna move this one over, guys. I'm gonna watch that feed. Those that want to watch the feed for Neo, you guys can do that on your own because that is 100% free. So, but I'm gonna pull in the Neo TradeVision, guys. I'm gonna put him on. Let's just put him on friendly for now. I like the friendly one just to because he's gonna just kind of straight into the point on that, guys. For as far as questions that we ask. Um, yeah, let's do that. And then in those that want to watch that feed as far as signals that he's doing, he is in session. So all you have to do is when you go to the website, scroll down, click on the Neo session, and then
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
this is where he does his stream, and that is 100% free for anybody that wants to do that. So, but just for the sake of space on my screen, I'm gonna just kind of put him on the side, and we'll look at him from time to time. So, all right. Let's talk a little bit, guys, about the market because I know we are 8 minutes from open, so we'll try to go kind of quickly here. So let's stay on this chart. I was talking a little bit about this to my mentor group because today's gonna be interesting, guys. We're in a very peculiar spot here because we all know from the high time frames we've had this deep run up. We now have broken our trend line, right? So we are structure south. Um, in this structure south, we are getting a little bit of bullish sentiment that did push us back up, which is trying to keep us afloat. Not surprised whatsoever because when we talked about it all back here, right, when it was kind of breaking down, when it tries to find its high, right, before it does do a breakdown, it typically is going to range a little bit. Decent probability, that it even tries to come back up and do a retest, right? Because of the fact from the higher time frame, we did not create and hold a lower low, right? We did create the lower low. Part of what I teach in the development side of things, as you guys, most of you know, is from a structure standpoint, when we end up pushing up and we lose something, it's going to try again. If it can't do that, it's going to create that lower low, which it did. Now we reclaimed it. So this is where it gets tricky, right? We have just as much possibility for us to have a little bit of a push up today to retest that 479 as we do to break down lower, right? To these lower lows at around 28.6 or 28.3 even. We got to wait and see, right? Because right now we're just kind of in that chop zone area right here. And so I did mark a kind of a key one I'm going to watch, which is 29136, and you can see we broke that and then we lost it, which is why we kind of dropped. It's an interesting area, guys. Where we are here, we are break of structure back north. See on the clean downtrend that we had right here, we're kind of breaking it back north, and we're trying to see if we're going to get back above these highs. Now, if we don't get above those highs, it's going back down. This is so. If we end up breaking above these highs here, right, 248 is going to be absolutely key because that is where we found heavy support here. So if we can't break above that, right, then it's going to drop pretty heavily. Now, the market open swing wick high low is going to be important to me because if we can, I would prefer if I wanted to play a little more long, I want to let this thing sweep back into this trend line area, maybe even a stop hunt through it. And then on the reclaim of that 077, guys, I'll probably be okay. I'm with taking longs. I'm cool with that. Anything short of that, I'm in a spot where I'm not really liking it because we don't know, is this structure break here going to hold and we're going to the moon? Or is this going to be kind of a bull trap, right? And then we sweep back down. We don't know. The things I'll caution to you guys today, volatility was nuts in Asia, guys. There's so much going on today. Is not the day to overtrade. It's not the day to break a million accounts in a revenge trading style. You will get destroyed today. Today is a day that you could potentially walk away um, if you go into that revenge trading mode, right? Losing everything. So um, I recommend keeping the volume low. 1 to 2, maybe 3 MNQ, right? Be patient. Don't look for long runs, guys. Clearly on high time frame or in some chop areas. Um, and just be careful. So we have a few things. We have the FOMC meeting minutes today at 2 o'clock, and we also have Nvidia earnings as well. So those are two very powerful news events. So it doesn't surprise me that we're not, getting some decent pressure, right? Both ways because they're trying to shake it out, right? The bulls, when we do these deep rejections off of a potential all-time high, the bulls tend to try to buy the dip, right? The bears that have been waiting for the short forever are trying to pressure us. And so at the end of the day, right, this structure is still more bearish than bullish. But from a 1 hour time frame, we can see swings up and swings down. For me, I don't care if we push up today on open. Anything that gets near 480, I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole on a long, no chance, because there's a really high probability that's going to reject really hard. Even in this downtrend, you guys know from a structure standpoint, we can come up and retest it up here. It's still possible, right? So this is where, when we say things like the structure is more bearish, it doesn't mean just throw in a short and good luck, right? You're going to win, right? It's not that easy. You have to wait for certain structures on lower time frames to play out. So you can see we're getting that a little bit of a deeper pull, but we got 3 minutes to open. So again, be careful. Some areas I'm watching is that 248. If we end up pushing up into that, I want to watch how that handles. If that ends up getting some good clear structure breaks back, I'm going to take those shorts. Anything below 248, I'm probably still looking more short. I'll just let it go if it runs, right? I'm not worried about it. Because it's just going to be, to me, a safer play. Each one of these deeper drops are a lot more violent so far than the reclaims. And so, but we'll go to the let's go to the lower time frames and see. So we got our trend lines and stuff in place. So again, even the 1 minute, we're looking more bearish structure, right? Granted, we have the market open that's going to potentially change everything, right? And so if we do get a swing on the market open down here, and then we end up reverting back up and we reclaim these areas, it's going to be pretty violent. If market open ends up swinging up first, and then we end up not creating a higher high within this level, that swing back down is going to be pretty violent. If we break this trend line back in, it's going to be really nasty because this is obviously going to be a very bearish structure, right? That would drop us probably back all the way to here. So we got 1 minute. You can see the market's doing a pretty deep pullback, right? Just from that. So we'll see how that goes. So just be safe, guys. We do have NEO. Again, just briefly, TradeVision is live. You guys can have your own NEO if you want to get on and talk to them. You can just click on TradeVision here and choose your plan. So the cheaper plan that we have is basic, which is $50 a month. It's not too bad for what you get for him. So, and then you can go in and talk to him, right? And even on the basic, guys, it's still unlimited usage. So I'm going to keep them on friendly, normal, and M&Q for this session because that's what we're going to be trading. Once we're done trading or we get a couple good moves, right, then I'll flip them over to sarcastic and we can have some fun. So, but let's roll, guys. Let's see what market open brings. We got what, 5 seconds? See the pre-market pull into the market push. See if it wants to keep pushing. Or we're going to get that pull back. See the sweep. Remember we were talking about that in the mentor group. So let's see. This sweep tells us a lot on this 1 minute, guys, because if we get this push, this pull close below, it's going to drop really hard. If we get a sweep up and we end up pulling back and it can't break that, we are in a hammer candle, right? Which is going to likely try to push us north. So we got to kind of revert a little to the micro. So we're below our 5 minute Lisma, which is going to be pretty key. And so when we have the 5 minute Lisma, anything below that can run the risk of being rejected pretty hard. A lot of times what this likes to do is it does like to rear up and touch it. So we could kind of get a little jump up, right, to around 158. If we breach through that, guys, it's going to that 248. If we do stay below that, then it's going to likely hit it and give it a little rejection. So the 5 minute does have a little bit of an absorption kind of to the north style candle. So we need to see where that closes. But again, we're in market open, so we got to just kind of see how that lands. So we're just kind of teetering right now. So see, notice how we hit almost perfect on that 136 range. So let's see if we get continued pressure north, or do we get any kind of pull from it? Upside down. I'm not going to ask Neo anything quite yet. We'll just watch it and see what we get here. So we got that pull right off that 136 so far. So if you're looking for safer plays, guys, if you want to kind of scalp from an open perspective, any kind of 15-second breach wick here, close, likely is going to create that lower low. Anything that stays above this line here is a push halfway, and it's going to jump again. So if you're looking for those setups. So, but we can ask Neo. Let's just ask him. Hey, Neo, we're just getting down trading here with the community. I just want to get a little oversight. Where do you see the macro bias? What should I be looking? I know we just had US Open.
It's great to have you here with the community today. With the US Open behind us, the macro bias for MNQ is currently leaning bearish on the 5 minutes time frame, though we are seeing bullish signs on the immediate time frame trend line near 29,121.00. You're currently looking at price interacting with a support zone between 29,073.00 and 29,090.00, which is also deep within a bullish 5 minutes order block. Since price is currently in this support area, watch for either a firm rejection that confirms the bearish macro pressure or a reclaim of the nearby 29,136.00 level to shift the bias higher. Are you looking to see how price reacts to this support zone before making your next move?
Yeah, typically with the market open, I like to kind of let the ORB set, just see where the sentiment is. So I'm going to check back in with you periodically over the next few minutes to kind of see what you're seeing as far as the bias and if it has shifted with the open being set with the ORB.
That makes perfect sense. Letting the opening range, ORB, establish itself is a disciplined way to filter out the initial noise. Currently, we're seeing price trade at 29,122.94,
See that
hovering
rejection
right near that
here?
ORB high of
Let's see how it handles.
29,139.75. The immediate trend is showing bullish intent on the 1 minute, but we have to respect the 5 minutes bearish macro trend. I'll keep a close watch on how we interact with that 29,139.75 level. As a sustained breakout, there would be the confirmation you need to see a potential shift in sentiment. I'm here whenever you're ready to check back in. What specific signs are you looking for to confirm the break?
I'm not entirely sure. Why don't you tell me what should I look for? Let's see what he says while we're waiting. We see the
You're
rejection here.
right to be cautious. Since price is currently testing the ORB high at 29,154.75, you're essentially watching for a breakout and hold. In trading, a successful breakout occurs when price moves decisively past the resistance level and then uses it as new support, showing that buyers are in control. I would keep an eye on whether price can maintain its position above that 29,154.75 mark with strong volume, similar to the buy pressure we're seeing right now. If it fails to hold and slips back into the opening range, that's often a sign of a trap, where buyers get exhausted, suggesting the market might head back toward the lower end of the range. Does that help clarify what to watch for as the market develops?
I'm gonna flip them over to quick, guys. We'll keep them a little short and sweet on it. But again, guys, so what I'm gonna do, what I've kind of pivoted to lately, is in the community. I'm gonna give you guys kind of the guidance, what I see, the signals. See, we're getting that rejection attempt, and I'm gonna ask him questions. So just kind of hear the questions, right, with the answer that he gives, because that's gonna be leaning towards what my thoughts are as you guys are going through things, right? So remember again, playing the rejection off that 5 minute Lisma. So I was able to take a couple little short scalps on that for about 400. But that's what I was expecting, right? Remember when we came up here, the expectation was to come test that. It likes to come up and kiss it and then reject. So anybody take those shorts in the community? Just put a thumbs up. You guys don't have to talk. I'm just curious. Some of you I know like to wait, but I know some of you like to scalp. Yeah, good job. So now we're getting that break. Again, guys, this is a normal market push rejection that it's trying to do. This is critical because a lot of times when that fails, it's going to come create that lower low, right? And so we ended up creating our lower low, but we have to remember we're still in that ORB setup, right? And so we still can, we're trying to find that bottom of that lower range. And so um, we got to kind of be a little aware of our prior lows within. Looks like we got our prior ORB high at 68. So if we stay below 68, guys, do not take longs. Don't try to get this bounce because you're gonna get wrecked. So now if we can get a bounce off of a lot of this area here, see the cluster of support, and it can reclaim something like that, you can try to take little scalps. You just got to remember, guys, don't try to go long, short, long, short, long, short, right? Stick to a bias, right? Stick to something that you're seeing because overall the macro structure is bearish, right? It's bearish. And so if you're trying to capture a bottom, 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 and the floor falls out from beneath you, right? You're going to get stuck, right? And you can ask them that. Yeah, I'm still waiting. I took a little bit of a short scalp on the way down. I'm advising the community not to look for a bottom right now because it could be really bad if the floor falls out from under us. Don't you agree? Until we see something confirmed.
You're spot on. Trying to catch a falling knife by picking a bottom before you
He
have
loves
clear
that falling
structural confirmation is incredibly risky. The sell pressure is dominant right now, and until price shows us a sustained reclaim or a solid base, the path of least resistance remains lower. Staying patient and waiting for that confirmation is the right call for the community. Are you going to wait for a retest of the ORB low at 29,034.50 to see if it holds as support, or are you looking for a more significant structural shift?
And you guys, you can ask them certain things, right? Like, be creative with it, right? So from an indicator, like I see a pretty good gap between the EU low and, um, the 1 hour Lisma, right? So you can ask them that. I feel like we're in a cluster of support that might jump us. So my bias is more short, but I feel like it's not really that safe unless I get a push up or a break below that EU low because the target of resistance or support, I mean, would be pretty low down to the 1 hour Lisma. Are you seeing that same thing or is there anything I'm missing?
You are spot on. Price is currently lingering inside a 5 minutes order block, which often acts as a magnet for liquidity but makes for a very choppy, no trade environment until we see a clean exit. You're correct that the 1 hour Lisma, around 28,817.00, is a logical structural target if this support breaks, but I wouldn't chase the downside until we see a confirmed breach of the ORB low at 29,029.75. Waiting for that breakdown keeps you out of the chop inside this order block and aligns with your patient, confirmation-based approach.
And so again, guys, TradeVision is live. You guys can go in and get him right now if you want to come in and talk to him. He does crypto, futures, stocks, everything. If we want to flip and check on something, watch. You can come in here. I'm just going to do it really quick. I'm going to check on NVIDIA. Hey, can you take a look at NVIDIA? Is it looking bullish or bearish on the macro? Because I know that heavily impacts my trading on the MNQ.
NVDA is currently showing a bearish macro trend on the 5 minutes and is trading below its VWAP at 221.81. With the 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes Lisma levels reflecting bearish pressure, the immediate setup is best described as choppy and weak. Given that NVDA is currently below its 5 minutes trend line of 221.47, it isn't offering a bullish tailwind for the MNQ right now. You're definitely right to watch this, until we see a reclaim of that 221.81 VWAP and some positive volume. The pressure remains on the downside.
And guys, you can flip through these. This is what's so awesome about this, right? If you want to do let's say I want to check something like gold, see how that impacts it. All right, well, while I'm waiting for this setup on the MNQ, can you tell me if gold has anything going on bullish, bearish that might impact it?
Gold is currently showing mixed signals. It's trading above its VWAP of 4,484.0, but it's facing significant downward pressure across most major timeframes. With the 1 minute and 5 minutes Lisma levels both bearish and the overall macro trend pointing
The
down,
bounce on the
it's not
cluster,
providing a
guys.
strong bullish lead for your MNQ setups right now. Think of gold as a secondary sentiment check. When it's struggling to hold structure like this, it often reflects a broader risk-off environment. I'd watch that 4,482.1 level. If gold fails to sustain support there, it confirms that lack of conviction in the broader market.
No, that sounds good. I'm waiting on my play here. We're getting a little bit of a bounce, it looks like, on MNQ. Can you tell me, has the pressure on the buy side increased recently? It looks like they're coming in.
You're right. That bounce is real, and the data confirms it.
Bounce is real.
Buy pressure has jumped significantly to nearly
Look at how
68%
friendly
of the
these
total
people.
volume, which is a strong shift compared to what we were seeing just a moment ago. Price is currently testing the upper edge of that new bullish OB range at 29,085.00, so pay close attention to how it handles that level. If it can hold this and push past the 1-minute Lisma at 29,099.25, that could be the confirmation you're looking for.
Yeah. So again, guys, when I talk to him and I click to him, he's gonna see the data at the time that I click it, right? So that's why the price is gonna be in US when it moves fast, sometimes a little off, but the structure doesn't change, right? So you can actually tell him, guys, or ask him even things, right? Like this. Like we were doing this earlier. It looks like we're getting a little bit of slowdown, but I'm being market open. I think I want to prioritize short scalps. I don't know that I want to do a long run kind of play. Can we focus the rest of this session on short scalps, aiming for between 10 to 20 point moves?
That makes total sense given the macro bearish trend. Focusing on short scalps is a great way to stay disciplined during the morning volatility. Since price is currently pushing against resistance, look for rejection signs at the 1-minute EM at 29,107.50, or the 5 minutes Lisma, 29,154.50. If we see a failure to push higher there, that's your trigger for a short scalp with your 10 to 20 point target in mind. Shall we watch for a rejection at those levels for your first scalp setup?
And so again, guys, he's going to break down that stuff. So you guys look at that, right? He wants to see a rejection come up here somewhere around that 54. And then if he sees that rejection, it would keep you in line with the macro, right? Or he wants to see and also a breakdown of rejection of that 29,107. So when you're looking at that, even though it's a 1 minute reference, right, we can go to the 15-second and see, do we get that breakdown? So we did get a breach of it, but we never actually got a full breakdown. And he's looking at this area here is why he's given the guidance of a potential target. So, so let's, keep going through, guys, and looking at it. As you see, this is a very big move here because we have the pull from the 5 minute Lisma on the micro. It ended up coming down, creating that lower low. We did get a push from a little double bottom that tried to break out. We even retested the neckline. As long as we stay above 85, guys, this has a chance of jumping pretty high. If we break below 85, it's going to come sweep this pretty hard, probably down to VWAP, just because of the invalidation. So if not further, but as of now, right, we're not there, right? We have a push, we have a rear back that's halfway, and it's trying to push again, right? So we're not quite there yet. So let's wait and see. Again, I'm not really looking to go long here, guys, because I don't like to chase against the macro. And from a macro standpoint, on the 5 minute, this is a more bearish structure. It just is. So you don't want to chase things against that. So what I like to look at, though, is if this is a bearish structure, is the micro doing bearish things, right? The 15-second. And so it's currently not yet, right? We're getting, some decent bounces off of areas. You got a 15-minute Lisma. We got a little chop zone going on within it. A close above that's going to sweep wick this 5 minute Lisma, right? Typically, um, this Lisma here has a little trouble breaking when it's kind of flat like that, but it's not impossible, right? And so you can see how that's pushing more bullish because of the structure, right? Which it should be doing. So, but that also brings in concerns of why I'm not jumping into a short again. So I took some short scalps, on the way through here. Didn't really go any long on any of them, and so I'm doing one NQ, 2 and 1 and 2 on these with a tight TP. Only, I think I did bump to 30 ticks on this one. Took your mild advice there, Cody, and so I'm up 1267 on that right now. So I'm gonna wait. I don't really want to go long because again, I don't trust anything into the 5 minute Lisma, and I don't know if this is gonna break or we're gonna hard reject. if you think about it from an ORB standpoint, we're not really wide, guys. We're only 130 points, right? Which is not nearly as wide as we've been in the past. And so we don't know if that's going to break or are we going to get one more rejection from within, right? So we're starting to get a little rejection. When we reject off this again, I want to see how hard that pushed through. Not very hard. So us getting this doji, we get that close below, it should breach wick this pretty hard. Now, with the structure push up, if we hold anywhere above here, right, it's going to have a chance of spraining again. So don't jump into things too early, right? Let me look at one thing here. See how we're getting that push, right? So we end up having a push here. We got the halfway, it's holding. It's also a support on the prior highs from the micro. That's not supporting bearish, right? You can see the macro, as although the entire structure is very bearish, it's not acting like that. And we can see that early within the micro because we had a double bottom play out. And we knew that with this double bottom, that can play out pretty strong, right? Now, I'm not taking these longs just because it's against my rules of bias and what I'm trying to do. So now I want to wait and be patient. If I want to take a short because that's more of my bias, I either want to have a push up and then a reclaim of those levels, and I'm going to ride that sucker down, or I want to let this thing come up to the 248. So, and we can ask Neo if you're curious or not sure. Hey Neo, I'm looking at the 15-second chart. I do see we just breached the 5-minute Lisma. I'm not really comfortable taking a long. If I wanted to look to go short, how high should I let this price go and what should I look for before I take a short?
That's a smart move. Letting the price exhaust itself before jumping into a short is much safer than guessing a top. We're currently trading at 29,161.63, and since the 5 minutes Lisma has just been reclaimed to the upside, I would wait to see if price struggles near the 29,171.75 level, which is the 0.618 fib extension. Look for a clear rejection or high Kin-Ashi candle color shift at that resistance level before considering your entry. If price holds below that 29,171.75 area and begins to roll over, that would provide the confirmation you need for a short scalp toward the ORB high or back into the recent range.
Yeah, so he's looking back at that ORB. That looks like it's pretty good, but there's some pretty good bullish pressure. Would it be a little safer if I let that break below the 5-minute Lisma because it's pretty close to the ORB in range?
That is the safer, more disciplined approach. Letting price break below the 5-minute Lisma, 29,155.50, while also clearing the ORB high, 29,154.75, adds that extra layer of structural confirmation you need before committing to a short. Forcing a trade before price proves it can sustain a move below those key levels often leads to getting caught in the bullish trap we're seeing right now.
Getting us close
If
there.
price loses that 29,154.00 area, it signals that the buyers are finally losing their grip, providing a much cleaner setup for your scalp.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you see any shift in the bearish pressure? It looks like they're starting to step in a little bit.
You're picking up on the right signs. The buy fraction has dropped to around 58%, which indicates that the earlier aggressive buying momentum is indeed cooling off. We are currently right at that 0.618 Fibonacci level of 29,171.75, which is acting as a natural ceiling for the moment. Watch for price to
Good.
fail
Okay.
here and dip back
Let
under
me
the
get that.
5 minutes Lisma at 29,155.25. If that happens, the bears are finally stepping in with enough conviction to support that scalp you're looking for.
Ooh, he's calling out the Fibonacci's here. Hold on, what are we looking at here? 618, 171, and what's he talking about? Oh, he's talking about this one right here. Yeah, the 171. So yeah, we're getting it. And guys, that's what I love about Neo. I took that scalp on there, guys. So I got my 1500 on this one that I was working on because I'm done with most of the other ones from yesterday. But that's the beauty of him, man. I was so focused up here on my charts that I didn't even notice the fib one that I had down there. And so he was just like, "Yeah, we're getting the rejection off the fib level, right? But what's the lower fib level?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" Um, and he was not really wrong, right? So you can see where we ended up coming down on that, dip back under the 5-minute Lisma. he only talked about the 618, so he was looking about the rejection. But I I I know most of you in the room have talked about it, but I love to my favorite thing among many things that he does is I love the buy pressure, sell pressure calculation because it's going to let me know something, right? Like, so if I can say, see how you have the head and shoulders, it's cool, huh, Daniel? So I can sit here and say like this, hey, I'm looking, I see a 15-second head and shoulders. Does it have enough buy pressure? I'm sorry, sell pressure to support this breaking out, or does it look like it might be a trap? See the head and shoulders, guys?
The sell pressure has surged to nearly 70% of the total volume, showing real intent from the
There,
sellers.
I don't know if y'all are shooting
However, since
short.
we are still inside a bullish order block and above the 1-minute EM 200, 29,110.50, that head and shoulders pattern could still be a trap. I'd wait for a confirmed break and hold below that 29,110.50 level before trusting the short. If it holds above there, you're looking at a potential liquidity trap rather than a clean breakdown.
No, that sounds good. What would be my next level of potential bounce or target if I were to enter that short if I get that close? Because it looks like pretty close, like it might close here soon. Stumped him. He's
If you
like,
catch that short, your first logical target would be the 1-minute EM 200 at 29,110.50,
uh,
as that is the immediate structural floor.
I'm gonna
If
tell him.
price
You
clears
told me
there,
that's
the
where my
next
entry
bounce
is.
zone, and your
Let's see
primary
it.
target, would be the lower end of the current 5-minute bullish order block near 29,022.75. Keep your stops tight above that 29,154.75 resistance area to protect your capital if this turns out to be a trap.
So
Does that
20,
target range fit with the risk to reward you were planning for this scalp?
so 29,022 is what he was saying, right? I'm gonna go with your 29,022 area because you had mentioned my entry would be 29,110, so that wouldn't be a very good target to use the 200 1-minute EMA. Again, guys, we have a
You were
breach. We need
absolutely
to close
right to
below there
rethink that
before we get
target.
that whole
Using
area.
the 1-minute EMA 200 as a target for a 20.
I'm gonna mute him. Guys, when you get this breach here, that's what he was talking about, right? Be careful in these areas here because when you get this breach, we just got a breach wick and it cannot break it. A lot of times that is going to try to rear back. So if you were to take the short scalp from 5-minute Lisma, that would have been your zone, right? From here, we needed to make sure this is what he was talking about, make sure you get a break and hold. So when you get that break on the 15-second here, we want to see a rear back and then we want to see the close below. That's your break and hold, right? To chase that liquidity. Not everything is going to be a break, close, and drop, right? And that's what I love about Haikanashi. Brent, our guy's back. You give confirmed signals daily. You're so good, dude. Hey, I appreciate the support, man. Thanks for joining my live. Uh,
Yeah, he's a loyal supporter,
Dude,
man.
you're my favorite fan. I love it. All right. So when you come here, you can see we got the breach, but this is what I love about Haikanashi. We never got the close in the 15-second. I know it's weird because it's the average, right? But it's a way candles likely close below that, right? And so that Haikanashi keeps you safe. Now let's look at the structure. This is the head and shoulder style. We end up getting the break, kind of looking like it's trying to form a larger head and shoulders potential, right? But this right here, breaking below that kind of neckline area, should have came down a lot farther. And we ended up getting a little bit of a rear back. Doesn't mean we're going to the moon. You guys know from a structure standpoint, when we get up to break the 5-minute Lisma like that and we lose it and then we reject off it, we create that lower low. Once we create that lower low, it's going to have one more chance. If that chance fails to breach through and it has a deeper pull than halfway, it tends to clear that liquidity down. So we'll see how that plays out on that. So if you guys were in the short, you'll be okay. Probably already hit TP, depending when you got in. So how are you guys doing? Let's take a little pause. I'm not in a trade now. Anybody in a trade? Throw a thumbs up. Just so I can guide it. Nope. Good deal. All right. So let's take a little pause, guys, and let's let this play. If you're looking to play something while I'm talking, we want to be careful here, right? Because we watched in the pre-market like 3 or 4 micro head and shoulders invalidate on this push. And so we can still invalidate. The safer play from here would be to let it come back up again and then take the play back south again from there. Or we want to get through this cluster of support and break below that, right? Chasing the EU low. If we get below the EU low, guys, there's like nothing. Like this is your trade of the day, right? If you want to take something a little safer. So just be patient. But how you guys doing? Post your P&Ls. I'm curious. You guys green? Doing good? Everybody doing all right? Or just throw out
I,
the
I got the goal on 3 different accounts, so pretty good.
I love the way you casually said that. I mean, just 3 counts. It's cool. Cody, back in the day, man, you used to do 1. Now you're like, I got 3.
Yeah, it's amazing how much difference a day can make,
Pretty cool, right? And that's what we talked about is, it's we all have good days, bad days, but the beauty of trading, man, everything can change in one day. All it takes is 5 days, 5 good days, and you get a payout, right? And everything changes. So, but that's an awesome.
I hit.
Go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I hit 2 of my goals. I'm basically ready to pass my evals. I just gotta trade for 2 more days.
Sweet.
But I hit both goals. Yeah, I just gotta go in and out, and I'll be done.
Very cool, guys. And so for everybody in here, guys, if you've passed something, you've hit your targets, again, y'all, today is not the day to swing. Right now, so far, we're seeing normal structure movement. It's doing what it should do from the macro standpoint. The closer we get to the FOMC and meeting minutes, the closer we get to NVIDIA earnings, end of day, right? It's going to get crazy. So don't give all your stuff back. It's okay to miss a trade, right?
Good job,
I'm
Daniel.
done. Yeah. No, it's awesome job, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I don't need to do anything else on any more of mine. I mean, maybe at best I would consider trying another eval on one of these accounts, but that would be probably all I would do. I don't think I want to, because I got all of my funded stuff done last night. And so, one advice I like to give you guys is to always, the reason people get wrecked after a good day or you blow your accounts or you guys push too hard to the limits is because you chase too much, right? You have too much success actually is a bad thing, because if you end up getting where I'm good, right, and you're like every time it goes up I short it, it goes up I short it, it goes up I short it, then you miss things like a possible falling channel, and we break that channel and it goes to the moon, and you just broke an account that you worked really hard to get. So I have a thing that I like to do, which is kind of putting myself on timeout, if you will. And when I decide to put myself on timeout, it's because I have my own reasonings, right? Where what I'll do is I'll think about it like if I'm doing TA and I'm hyper focused and it's doing what it's doing, right? I'm gonna keep on going. But the moment it starts to go, man, this is almost too good, right? I tend to pause and I look over and I'll go, oh man, I hit my target, got this. Okay, I'm good. I'm like, the moment my mind takes that step back, um, and now it's become real, that's when I like to just, I'm gonna take a minute and I'm gonna wait, right? And almost sometimes I'm gonna wait for the next move, right? Maybe I'll let this thing come all the way down. Maybe I'll let this come all the way back up. I just want to get out of the zone. I've already beat the heck out of the zone. I've already earned a lot of money from the zone. Why would I want to give it back, right? Because uh, could be a trap. We don't know, right? If that zone's going to hold. And so always think of that, man. If I teach in the development side and then the mentor side that when you are trading and I'm very hyper focused on the TA, the technicals. I don't necessarily like to look at how much I've earned. I'll have my TPs, set. I'll have my trails that I want to do. I have my goals. That's fine. But the moment it becomes real, when you look down, you're like, oh shoot, that's qualified for a payout, right? Everything changes. Your mindset changes, your emotions change, everything changes. And that's when you need to stop, right? You need to just take a step back, right? And watch. I'm going to tell Neo, he's going to give you advice. Hey, Neo, I'm giving advice to the community. We've had a really good morning. So far, I'm up about 1,600. Everybody else is posting P&Ls. We got Chuck is up 1,740, Duff 1,463, Cody passed 3 of his evals. I was giving them some advice saying now that we've passed it and it becomes kind of real, we might want to take a little time out and just let the market settle and trade another oscillation. Do you think this is a decent advice that I gave to the room? Oh, I got him muted.
Advice. When the morning session has been that productive, Stepping back to let the market establish its next clear oscillation is the hallmark of a disciplined trader protecting their gains. The MNQ is currently showing increased chop as it tests the 29,085.00 support level, and staying on the sidelines prevents you from giving back those profits in a low conviction environment. Protecting what you've earned today is just as important as the trades themselves, so keeping the room focused on the next high probability setup is exactly what a mentor should do.
Oh, stop it. No, I'm just kidding. But again, guys, with Neo, you can ask him whatever you want. You know, you can flip back. You know, we can check on some other things if we want to. So let's go back to NVIDIA and ask him, hey, do you see any change on NVIDIA from our previous discussion? I'm not sure, but we're getting a little buy pressure. I'm wondering if it's being driven by NVIDIA because I know they have earnings today. He's thinking.
You're
Uh-oh.
spot on to notice that
There he is.
shift. NVDA is now seeing strong buy pressure at 84.28% and has reclaimed its VWAP of 221.71. It's also back above the 1-minute EMA 221.99, which is likely acting as a catalyst for that bullish sentiment you're seeing in the market. While earnings can introduce unpredictable volatility, that volume surge suggests participants are positioning ahead of the news. Keep a close eye on the 222.30 level. If it clears that resistance, it could provide the extra bullish momentum your MNQ setups have been looking for.
And guys, you can flip into crypto as well, right? If you just, want to check on that while you're waiting. So we can say that sounds good. I was thinking Nvidia was pushing on that. I know BTC at times can have some impact as well. Do you see anything going on with Bitcoin or the crypto side that should concern me with MNQ? Oh, I didn't push the microphone. Sounds good. With Nvidia pushing like that, that makes sense. I'm gonna check on the crypto side. Do you see anything on Bitcoin that might be driving this price up as well, or how do you think that might be impacting the MNQ?
Bitcoin is showing some buying interest with a 66% buy
Bitcoin.
fraction, but it's currently caught in a complex spot between its 5 minutes EMA 200 at 77,123.81 and a series of bearish order blocks just overhead. Since it's still below its 1 hour and 4 HEMA 200s, this bounce looks more like a relief rally within a larger bearish structure rather than a sustained trend reversal. While Bitcoin can sometimes fuel risk on sentiment for the MNQ, it's not providing a clear, green light right now given those overhead bearish zones. It's better to view this as a potential source of volatility rather than a reliable driver for your MNQ trades at the moment.
So again, you guys can see how we can ask him those questions and pivot back, right? To see if we think that that's going to be pivoting. So let's go back to MNQ. Sounds good. I still feel like we're kind of in a chop. I don't want to take a long because I still see some buy pressure. Do you see the buy pressure? I'm sorry, the bear pressure stronger than the buy pressure still, or are you seeing any shift in that? Because if the bear pressure continues, I'm thinking it might be a safer play for us to get out of that kind of grouping of indicators that I got below that 29,000 mark. Any thoughts on that?
You're reading the sentiment perfectly. Bearish pressure is definitely still in control, with the buy fraction sitting low at around 30%. Because price is currently trapped inside that cluster of order blocks and support levels, you're absolutely right that the market is in a no trade chop zone. Waiting for a clean exit below the $29,000 mark is the right call for a safer play. It clears the structural clutter and gives you a much higher probability path to that lower target without fighting the consolidation.
Yeah. And so he's going to keep giving you that guidance, guys, as you need. And that's, I'm purposely asking him these things, right? Because let's zoom out. At the end of the day, guys, we have our low, we have our high, we're just internal. So, and we're dead ass in the middle. So macros suggesting that we should come back down, but we did get a nice little bounce off of our VWAP over here. And so we don't know. Are we going to get a full breakdown, or is this thing going to is it going to flip on us, right? And so let's see. So this area here is going to be mostly my concern. So, as we get push-ups here and we want to get those structural breakdowns back, you can take those little scalps. Anything that breaks above here is going to try to come up with some pretty big strengths, guys. just be careful because, like I said, with NVIDIA, and FOMC minutes, today, like, whew, it could get crazy. So, but if you guys have any questions, let me know while we're just kind of waiting as well on TikTok. If you guys have any questions, on TikTok, guys, feel free. Since we're not watching it, you can post questions in your little comment thing there that you want me to ask Neo, and I can ask him for you while we're waiting. Now we are live trading in the community, so if I want to pivot to that, I might delay a little on getting that, but I can do it. So if you have a question for Neo, post it. Also, you guys most of you guys over here in the other community part over here, you guys all have Neo anyway. So half of you probably have me on mute over here talking to Neo. So, but let's wait and see, guys.
Did you say something?
Yeah, I was waiting for Cody to come on and be like, Nick, can you turn down your mic volume? I can't hear Neo. The day is coming. I know it. Somebody's gonna walk by and be like, Cody, what's wrong? I don't know, man. Every time I try to hear the good advice from Neo, Nick won't shut up. Guys, I'm good with it. Look, building my retirement plan. So, but again, guys, it's choppy. I'm not in anything right now. So, I took a few little scalps because it's evals. I don't mind taking a little extra risk. I'm up 771 on that. So you can see there it is. It's that bottom one. I don't, I'm halfway to my 1500 for that eval I just started. So I don't really need to push it. And I don't really know that I like this yet. Right. So I want to wait. If I want to take a short from here, I want this thing to push up, give me an absorption to the south on the micro with a close below, and then I'll ride that sucker back down. Anything short of that, guys, we just don't. I have concerns. I don't know if we're going to pull back right now, because if you look at the overall structure on the micro from a backward kind of pull, right? We had that head and shoulders that played down. We did get a push. We ended up getting that lower low that we talked about. We pushed up here, which did break our structure. And if you kind of look at that, right, that's kind of like this, right? And so we're kind of in a kind of riding that, I always call it like a market maker slide, right? So there's a chance that we could pop north here, if we can clear through some of these levels, but I'm not interested in taking that long, right? So, but it also gives me enough willies to not really jump into a short quite yet either. If I want to look for another short, I probably would give a little push and then play the reclaim back, something like that. So, but I damn sure wouldn't be looking for a long ride because the macro does not support that yet. Now, we're in the midst of news. So if certain news comes out, the macro doesn't care. Or the news doesn't care about the macro. But again, guys, on TikTok, feel free to ask anything you want me to ask Neo. But anything you guys want to mention in the community side? You guys got any questions for me? How we doing? You guys still doing good? Crushing it? Sweet. You guys can throw them.
Okay.
And again, guys, Neo is not expensive. He's $50 for the basic plan. The basic plan is not really basic. You get unlimited usage. You get all the same data, TA. The actual advice and the TA absolutely does not change, whether you're on either one. The advantage of going to the second tier that we have, the Pro, is going to be because you can do crypto, stocks, all that stuff, right? Plus, you get the sarcastic, all that. I don't know. Are you guys? Is anybody still looking for trades? Put a thumbs up, because if we're done trading, maybe we'll flip to sarcastic and just have a little fun with them. You are, Duff. Duff, you're up pretty good, but you're on the. Is that your eval or your sim? Like the.
That's the sound, but I'm up pretty nice too on the demo.
Okay.
I mean on the eval, sorry.
Cool. Yeah, we're getting that kind of pull here. See that rejection pull within that?
I guess I'm gonna have to open up another eval so I can trade a little more.
Yeah, I mean, just if you want to keep going, right? Just do it on an eval, but set rules, man. That's the biggest thing. Like, and that's what, like, the eval that I opened up on the pre-market. I told myself if this thing gets to my goal, then I'm cool, right? I'm gonna let it roll. But if it ends up breaking, or I hit some stop losses, then I'm done, right? I mean, it's fine you never want to trade fearful when the market is actually doing what it should be doing, right? That's the time that you actually want to trade, a little more. But the only worry a little is that we have that news, right? The NVIDIA news. That's the biggest concern I have. So, um, but just as long as you got some strict adherence rules that say, hey, if I get, you know, stopped out or I break that account or whatever because I took a risk, right? And then you're done. That's it, right? But yeah, not the greatest zone in here, guys. You might want to be a little bit patient with this one. So, but
Which accounts are you doing the most right now?
I'm building my fundeds back because, guys, my plan that I do, you guys, as you know, I do my lucids for my weekly payouts, and then my funded I do rapid where I swing, because I can get those daily payouts, right? And so this is my funded on it. So I'm up 1100 on that one now. So this is my builder, guys. I'm at 11,000 on that one. That one's pretty much guaranteed payouts as long as I want to, for as many as it will do. So but yeah, this one right here, on the breakdown, the doji breakdown, I took two little short scalps from that one. Again, this is where you have patience, right? Remember when we were here and I'm like, I'm not interested in shorting that. And I waited for that, rejection, the doji, the close below, took a scalp there, came up, got the rejection, took another scalp there. Right. That's how I played it. So I'm not taking very long runs, but again, guys, everybody's in this misconception that you got to have a 100-point run to make money. Like I'm up what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6,500 today, and I'm doing 30 point, or not 30 point, literally 30 tick scalps with one NQ. In out, in out. It's the safest way to do it right now, guys, because it's so unpredictable. You don't know, and that's what happens is you guys get into these shorts and you're aiming for a low TP down here, and then you get your ass wicked out really quick, right? And now everything's gone. So I'm in out. I'm looking for some clean little micro structure breaks, moves. This one played out pretty well.
I love that strategy, Nick. I did 24 ticks, 5 MNQ on one of them.
Yeah,
Get my goal quick.
isn't it cool? Like if here, and that's
Love it.
fun. So Daniel, I do that at times. That especially when I'm fighting intraday sometimes, which is a little more dangerous. But what I'll do is I'll take that low tick TP, and then I just wait for a clean OA kind of setup, right? Breakdown, and then let it go, right? So, but you see how we're getting this bearish play again, guys? That's why even though I was taking a couple scalps, I didn't let it run. Now, you're going to always have the naysayers, right? Because hindsight's a beautiful thing. You can say, well, that's stupid. Why would you take a 30 tick TP here and here when you could literally have still been in this short? Because look, it's all bearish. We have no green candles. You'd still be riding this. So maybe this person out there somewhere is telling me that I'm stupid or thinking it while they're still riding this short up, maybe even more. And that's fine, right? I don't care because I made like $2,600 on these two plays. So,
Have
I'm
you
cool with it.
looked
Huh?
at the? Have you looked at the 25K rapids that they have a deal on right now? Because I was just thinking, you said
I don't like the drawdown.
Okay, that's what.
It's
Was it the
1,000.
builder or the rapid that has a $1,000 daily
Both.
loss limit?
No, well, so the builder has a daily loss limit, but the rapid, it's not a daily loss limit. 25K, they only give you $1,000 drawdown, and it's broken. And it's not like take profit where you get 1,500, right? And so I don't like that $1,000 drawdown. So I need a little more room to
I'm
wiggle.
thinking there's not a loss limit on the rapid then, right? On the 50K.
Nope.
Okay.
Which is why I like the rapids.
Okay.
Rapids are cool. I mean, you got to fight the intraday, once you pass it, which kind of sucks. But
well, if you're doing this TP, then
yeah,
the intraday really,
yeah, it's irrelevant because you're in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So you guys see my concern as I was shorting through this. I didn't chase it. You guys can see I'm still in that 1,100, right? I'm not chasing that because my concern, right, is as this continues to break down here. Remember the cluster of support that I was worried about? And so we have that cluster of support. And so this was a kind of a little bit of a micro bear trap. That's why I didn't chase it, because you have that push. And then notice how they the bot algos just came in and said, boom. So anybody who tried to, and this is why I love the short scalping, right? Because I can short scalp these moves. Anybody right here, I mean, this shit just played out like I just said it would, which is funny. I didn't think about that. The same person that's pulling this down probably had their break even and just lost all their profit in like 15 seconds. Right. And so jokes on them. No.
That's a landmine, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, but every trade, guys, has its advantages and disadvantages with strategy, and the environment is going to fit whatever your advantage or disadvantage is. It's a fact. So, micro scalping, I love chop zone. I will eat this up and make probably some of my biggest days in chop zone. Whereas people who like to do continuation tile long plays, they hate chop zone. They get chopped up. That's why it's called chop zone, right? Because they're going to get those break even hits left and right. So, but then you get the same people that it'll floor to the ground and they're like, anybody who's trying to scalp this, you just left so much money. And it's like, okay, the market's going to meet the environment of what it is. But look at this. They just got stopped out if they didn't even move their break even. That's why I said
insane.
That's why I said long-term plays are not very wise right now, guys.
Oh, you got wrecked there.
Oh yeah. So let's look at this, right? Oh, these are account breakers, y'all. We went up $200. You're 1 in Q, your account's gone. Gone. All that work, right? And so now,
Yeah,
what's up, Mike?
I'm just sitting out of this right now. That's too crazy.
So I'm looking to short this, but I'm wanting to see something, right? I need some kind of structure, right? Let's ask Neo. Hey Neo, holy cow, man! The bulls just came out of nowhere on that. Are you seeing this? I'm not really comfortable taking a long though. What should I look for a short setup if I'm still scalping?
It's a massive surge. The buy fraction just spiked to 82.97%, showing intense conviction from the bulls. Even with this strength, you're right to remain cautious. Don't chase the move, as buying into an impulsive vertical spike often leads to getting trapped. Wait for the price to reach and fail at the 0.618 Fibonacci level of 29,223.50, and watch for a confirmed candle color shift or rejection wick on the 1-minute chart. Once you see that exhaustion, a break back below the 29,211.50 session high would provide a much higher probability short scalp setup.
Good advice, Neo. You're the best. That's the second time I didn't even notice that. I need to shrink that down. Yeah. So what again, guys? What I would like to see, if you want to jump in here, obviously this is a very big reclaim. That's very bullish, right? That's anti what the structure shows bearish. If we pull it like that, right? And so this is against that trend. Now, what we don't know yet is this a stop hunt or are we going to the moon? This is where people get wrecked because you chase that moon play when it's really just a stop hunt. Now, as you guys know in the programs that you're in, we determine that based on these highs. So if this is going to be truly a very bullish play, we're going to the moon, it should act like it on the micro level. So we know the highs over here is at 157, right? Somewhere in this area. So for us to push up and hold this as support, if we get another explosion, it's going to go, guys, because now we're full invalidation and it's going up pretty big. I probably still won't take that long just because I don't like it. But if we end up pushing up here, we get this rear back, and this rear back cannot come up and create this high, and we start to get weakness and we lose it. It has one more level. Anytime you have a move like that, you watch the halfway, somewhere in here. One more level. If it can hold that halfway, right, we can still jump up in a little bit of a trap back south. But if it comes in this rear back and we can get a close back below here, guys, it's going to be deep. So you just got to be patient from it now. Again, just be patient. So, but we can ask them. Let's see. Based on the market, what you're seeing now after that kind of crazy move, it's acting a little unpredictable from the 5-minute standpoint. So I'm a little more worried on taking a short scalp. What's the most optimal entry, or what should I look for to give me the best probability for the scalp to be good?
The market is currently consolidating, and you're right that the 5-minute time frame is showing a bit of unpredictability after that volatility. The most optimal short entry is to wait for a break and reclaim of the ORB high at 29,154.75.
You want to get below
If
here?
price drops below that level and fails to hold it as support, that's your high probability short trigger. Keep your stop loss just above the recent high to protect against another impulsive squeeze. And aim for a target back toward the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,105.75. If you don't get that clean breakdown and retest, it's safer to sit on your hands and wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah, and so again, he's not even entertaining the push up to the fib level. Like sometimes he'll say that, right? He's saying he don't want you to touch a short until we come back and we reclaim this ORB, right? Which would be also the reclaim of the 5-minute Lisma, which is what I was just talking about. So let's see if we get it. But we can ask him too. Do you see a shift in the buy pressure?
The buy pressure remains very strong at 74.07%, confirming that the bulls are still in control and pushing the price upward. Since price has now reclaimed the 0.382 Fibonacci level at 29,176.75, any thoughts of a short scalp should be put on hold until you see clear exhaustion and a failure to hold this new support. It's essentially a bull-dominant environment right now, so trying to short here would be fighting against the primary momentum. Keep your focus on whether this buying conviction holds or if we start to see significant wick rejections on the 1-minute chart.
Yeah. So again, this is where you got to be patient, guys. Just kind of sit and hang out because we are bearish invalidation in full effect. But we know that 29,248, right, is going to be a pretty solid resistance possible, right? So if we come up here and we get any kind of deep rejection here, that reclaim of that ORB is what he's talking about. Anything short of that, if we burst above that 248, guys, it's going to jump pretty hard. So we got to wait and see what that's going to do. We're definitely getting a good amount of pressure as of now. Let's see if we want to get a pull. So you guys know from this retest, when it pushes up halfway push into the hammer, that has to create a higher high. If this breaks down and comes back down, it's going to come smack 5-minute Lisma again. So anything short of holding above like here. And again, guys, don't push trades. You know, if you have a new eval you're trying, that's fine. But, you know, we're just mostly studying as well. Do you see sell pressure increasing?
Not at all. The buy fraction
He
has
said
actually
not at all.
strengthened to 83.54%, showing the bulls are
It's
still
not always
firmly in
agreeable,
charge
guys.
of this move. We're currently testing the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 29,223.50, and until we see a significant pullback or a reversal in that buy pressure, the momentum is entirely to the upside. Fighting this kind of strength would be like trying to hold back a freight train, so I'd definitely hold off on that short until you see some real distribution. Are you planning to just watch the price action at this level, or are you looking for an opportunity elsewhere?
Michael, you can hold back a freight train, right? You try that ever? That'd be fun. Guys,
Yeah. You've seen the movie Hancock, right? That was actually me. I was the stunt guy.
Right. All right, let's go to sarcastic, guys. Let's have some fun. Again, guys, my disclaimer on this, sarcastic, he can be quite a little bit of an ass. He doesn't use swear words, anything like that, but he's gonna definitely be very condescending. Because sarcastic is one of my ones that I like to end the session with because he is absolutely hilarious, guys. We added a bunch of other personalities, so you can do friendly, beginner, professional, funny, sarcastic, uncensored, advanced, and guys, we added institutional. I'm going to talk about that here in a second, probably the next 10 minutes if you want to hang around, because you guys know I cannot stand the fact that the sales pitch for just about every YouTuber out there or TikToker out there is that I teach you institutional. Guys, it's just a different way to explain it. That's all it is. So guess what? We added it to NEO. So for anybody out there paying thousands of dollars for institutional lessons, you could pay $50, get NEO, and he'll teach you all. So save you a little money. But let's we'll explore that later. But let's go to sarcastic and let's have some fun. Sounds good. I'm glad I didn't go into that long, man. I'm taking a couple short scalps here. I have $100 more I need, and then I can get my halfway point of passing this account here. So appreciate the advice.
Oh, look at you, actually listening to reason for once. It's a miracle. You're sitting at a 20% buy fraction now, so the sellers finally decided to show up to the party. If you're hunting that final $100, don't get greedy and trip over your own feet right at the finish line. Just keep those shorts tight. Respect the 1-minute EMA 200 at 29,110.50 as your support, and for heaven's sake, don't overtrade now that you're within reach of your goal.
And for heaven's sake, he said, oh, that's so funny. Oh man, I'm so glad you said that. I was literally about to take a short right into the 200 EMA. I didn't even see that. You're literally the best.
Oh, how sweet. You were about to donate your profits straight back to the market by shorting into the 1-minute EMA 200. You're welcome for stopping you from making that classic rookie move, but maybe try opening your eyes and looking at the support levels next time. If you're actually serious about finishing that eval, keep your shorts away from the EMA 200 unless you want to see your account balance shrink faster than your patience. Now, are you
Oh,
going
man.
to finish the job or keep hunting for ways to lose that $100?
He said, oh, how sweet.
Tell him you already got your goal on 5 accounts. See what he says.
No, I'm gonna wait just a little bit because I've already got my goal on 5 accounts. I'm just trying to finish the 6th one and then I'm done. So I need your help, man. What should I be looking for? Give me this last $100. I want to pass this thing and go do something else about my day.
Oh, you're one account away from the finish line and now you're feeling the get it over with syndrome? If you're that desperate for your last $100, look for a rejection at the session high of 29,233.50. If that fails to hold, you'll have a clear path back toward the
Yeah, I
1-minute
spiked that up
EM
here.
200 at 29,111.00. But please, don't let your I want to be done with my day mindset turn into I just blew my 6th account. If you see the price struggling at that high, take the
Yeah.
scalp, bank the 100, and walk away before you sabotage yourself.
All right, guys, what do you think? We want to keep them in line or we want to try to piss them off a little bit? Put a little vote in there. What do you guys think? What do you want to do? We feel like sarcastic, angry Neo. Piss them off. Okay.
Tell him, oops, too late.
All
It's
right.
blown.
Oh man, I didn't read that in time. I literally just took a long on this. Do you think I'm gonna be okay chasing that target back north? Because I don't even know if that's gonna make $100. I'm only like 6 M and Q in.
You just bought the top of a move that's been grinding up, and now you're questioning your life choices? You're chasing along into resistance, and unless the bulls
Are
decide to
you
go vertical
questioning your
again,
life
you're
choices?
likely just paying the market for the privilege of watching your equity dip. If you don't see a clean push above 29,195.25 immediately, your $100 is going to turn into a much larger loss while you wait for a miracle. Take the tiny scratch or the small loss, walk away, and stop acting like the market is a charity handing out finishing bonuses to people who chase breakouts.
Let's fight him a little bit. I mean, that's fine. I get it. I just went ahead and closed it, but you don't have to be rude about it. I'm sitting here trying to get some help from you, and maybe you should talk a little bit faster so I can make better decisions quicker. Oh, he's about to get me on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, did my rudeness interrupt your breakneck speed of chasing bad trades? If you want faster decisions, try looking at the chart times before times you click the button, rather than waiting for me to walk you through how to follow your own rules. I'm here to help you trade, not to hold your hand while you gamble on impulse. If you want better decisions, start by actually looking at the support and resistance levels I give you instead of pretending they don't exist.
That's a very valid point. That's fine. I went ahead and closed it, so I'm gonna go ahead and look for a short here. What would I look for on that short? You said something about a rejection on the upper liquidity. I can't remember.
Oh, look who actually decided to listen. Miracles really do happen. Since we're pushing toward that 0.618 fib level at 29,223.50,
Uh,
look for price to smack into that resistance and start leaving long, exhausted-looking wicks on the 1-minute high Kinashi candles. If those wicks start appearing while the buy fraction drops below 50%, that's your cue that the liquidity hunt is running out of gas. Once it rolls over and breaks the 29,154.75 ORB high level to the downside, you've got your entry for that final scalp.
yeah. So his little jabs, man. Like, oh, look who decided to listen finally. Miracles do happen. What a dick. Guys, as this pushed up, when we kind of came up and had our pullbacks from within, my little scalps. I did what everybody loves to do. I got 14.99.16. So the market loves to do that kind of crap. So now I got to do a little 1 MNQ or something to get that. So I'll just get a little mini scalp from it you know, when I get this rejection from that on the 1 MNQ. So just set that TP and let her rip. But yeah, no, he's brutal, y'all, when he wants to be. So there you go. I just did that off the little rejection from the high. So yeah, guys, with the help of Neo and kind of going through a little bit of the guidance today, guys, I was able to get another one halfway. I got the other one passed, and I got the builder that's going to be able to pay me out tomorrow. So gotta love it, guys. If you're having any issues, trouble with trading, you guys need a little Neo in your life. I'm telling you, he's going to save your butt, guys. Anybody in a trade in the community? Let me put a thumbs up. What's on
No, just taking
Okay.
a little.
Yeah, I'm currently in a buy right now.
Okay. Trail that buy, right? You can put something below this prior high, somewhere around here, unless you want to tighten it up. Because if we get this push and we break back below this high, it's going to come down pretty hard, right? But anything short of that, yeah, I mean, it's trying to push up on that invalidation we talked about. So if you're still looking for any kind of shorts, guys, anything above this 248 is dangerous, right? You'd want to have that lose that level as well as lose that high and come back down. So, but I'm going to cover my screen just briefly, talk a little bit about TradeVision, Neo, and all that. But if you guys have questions, please ask. If you are on TikTok and you want to ask Neo a question, let me know and I'll put it in there. You played with him last night, yeah? Isn't he cool? He's like your like a little best friend, man. So, so when you're in here, guys, this is TradeVision. This is Neo. For those who don't know who he is, Neo is our AI that we have created to be your coach, your mentor, your guide, best friend. I mean, people talk to him on the way home from work, right? And so we give him a little bit of variance to talk about, life stuff with you. And so, which is cool. He's a good thing to vent to at times, right? But he will always try to kind of steer you back into the market or trading, right? With Neo, the release on that is TradeVision. So we have a couple things that we do. This was our first release with Neo, and this is as we continue to integrate him into the site. You can see this is our AI session. So this is where Neo is going to be constantly giving out kind of some entries, exits, targets, concerns, all that. Anybody right now can get this free, 100%. We're going to keep it free, not changing it. It's free. So if you want to come in, you just register at nextstepalgo.com. You go in, you click on the Neo AI sessions. You don't have to put a credit card, nothing. It is just free. So what we do is we like to have that session, but this is Neo's home base, man. This is where he's at. So this is where all the magic happens. You can ask him any kind of question you want. He will talk to you about anything, right? We do have personality setups. We were playing with sarcastic a little bit. That's why he was being a little sassy. You can put it on friendly, professional. For those that want to learn more advanced stuff, right? We can do institutional now. Institutional is kind of fun. So I can literally go in here and say, hey, I'm going to switch over to my institutional thinking here. Where's my best chance to take a trade that is the most likely to wreck retail traders?
Price has just pushed through the 0.618 Fibonacci level at 29,223.50, which appears to be a classic liquidity sweep intended to trap late breakout buyers. The current shift towards sell-side volume at 35.1% suggests the market may be preparing to rotate back into the previous range. The highest probability for a reversal trade involves monitoring for a failed auction above 29,223.50. If price reclaims below that level with a confirmed candle closure, you may see an acceleration toward the previous session high around 29,195.25, effectively liquidating the retail longs who were caught chasing the breakout.
Yeah. And so he's going to give you that lens more from an institutional standpoint, guys. And so you can change anything you want. Again, the beauty of when you're on pro, even if you're not on pro, right? If you're on basic. So let me flip over to basic just because some people they want to try them out, right? So our basic, if you come to view and compare plans, it's going to tell you what you get in the basic. So in the basic, you get the access, you get, future symbols. You just don't get crypto, stocks, things like that. Your personalities are limited to beginner and friendly, but the data doesn't change. Nothing is minimized, right? Your unlimited use, you can sit here and talk to them all day long. When you're a VIP or in my mentor group, you can literally access anything on our site at will. So I'm going to switch over to the basic plan. And now we're on the basic one, right? Introduction. Ah, it's awesome. Yeah, appreciate it.
Hi Nick, it's great to meet you. I'm Neo, and I'm here to help you navigate the charts and stay disciplined while you work for your trading goals. Are you working on an evaluation account today, or are you just getting settled into the session?
So again, guys, you can still see this is the basics plan. He's going to still ask you questions, do all the stuff. The only difference is if I were to look up something like Bitcoin, it's going to be grayed out and tell you you have to be on the pro, right? And so, but here's one cool way that I know I like to share this because a lot of people have not used him this way. Is I can go into M&Q like I did earlier, and I can ask him to give me an update. Can you give me a quick update on M&Q, the status? Are we macro bearish, bullish? What should I be prioritizing as far as direction?
MNQ is showing a bullish immediate trend, but with sell pressure rising to roughly 74%, the upside momentum is clearly stalling. You should prioritize caution until we see a sustained push above the 0.618 Fibonacci.
So he's going to give you the levels here, guys. You can mute him, do the volume control, all that. So the cool part is Neo will remember stuff, guys. So I can go over to here, similar to what I did on the plan before. And now remember on basic, I don't have stocks, but I can still look at something like gold, right? I can do the GC and I can, did I click on that? There it goes. All right, so I go into the GC, right? And I can ask him how that is looking in relation to M&Q, and he's going to remember. So no, that sounds good. Do you see any impacts from gold that might concern me for the MNQ while I trade it?
Gold is currently showing signs of being overbought and is testing resistance near a bearish 5 minutes order block at 4545.3, which could lead to a localized pullback. Since you're trading MNQ, watch for gold to fail at that level. As a reversal, there might drag down broader risk sentiment and put pressure on your MNQ long setups. Right now, gold is still holding above its 1 minute and 5 minutes EMA 200s, so it's not an immediate red flag yet, but it's definitely something to monitor for a change in momentum. If gold starts rolling over, consider it a warning sign to tighten up your risk on any long positions in the MNQ.
So then I can go back to MNQ and I can say, sounds good. I'm going to pivot back to MNQ and just trade this. From time to time, I'm going to ask you if gold is doing anything different. Is that something that will work?
That works just fine. Gold and MNQ often share an inverse relationship, so if gold suddenly breaks that resistance, it could signal more downside pressure for the MNQ. Keep your eyes on both. When the correlation.
So again, guys, the way we built it in is whatever's within your plan, basic, pro, whatever. You can ask him about things, but keep in mind he's going to remember based on that session for now as you're going. We give him a tolerance, I think 30 minutes or an hour. So if you time out after that, it's going to reset from that session. But if you want to watch certain things, right, crypto, Bitcoin, futures, whatever, because it impacts it, like we did earlier with NVIDIA. You can tell him, hey, I'm going to be trading MNQ, but from time to time I need to ask you, right? As long as he gets kind of that data feed unlocked, that you've clicked it, you've asked him about it, you can keep going back while on MNQ and saying, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about gold, right? Or do you see it? Like I can be on MNQ and say, do you see NVIDIA buy pressure changing? And he's going to tell you, right? And so, there's so many ways to use him, guys, and I talk about it a lot within the room. That you guys can come in here and ask him anything. And it's so funny because a lot of people will ask me questions like, can he do this? Can he do this? And I'm like, just ask him, guys. Like he will tailor to whatever you want, right? If you want to do scalps, long priority holes, whatever, you just ask him. Just tell him, right? And he's going to do it for you. So, targets, concerns, bias, ask him. He's going to tell you. So, but yeah, so it's awesome, guys. He is live again. Anybody can get this right now if you guys want that. It cracks me up, guys. And I'm gonna say my little disclaimer here because I was talking about it this morning. as I go through things like TikTok and stuff, and I see so many people, guys, just man, they're BSing y'all. You got to be careful because I was watching a guy last night that I'm like, I had to call him out a little bit, right? Because and I don't do this often, but I hate people that are misleading people. And he's out there going like, "Oh yeah, these signals are AI, guys. It's AI. These signals are AI." And I'm like, dude, it's Pine Script. Like, y'all, like anybody who says anything on TradingView is AI, they are full of absolute shit. So just throw that out there. It's Pine Script. It cannot be AI. So I actually called him out. I said, buddy, you're talking about Pine Script, man. It can't be AI. Yeah, he works with the training courses. Stand by 1 second, John, and I'll show you that. And so he like his eyes lit up like, oh yeah, I know it's Pine Script, man, but AI helped us write it. I'm like, so you just put a script in ChatGPT and had to write the shit. Like, cool. And you're selling people $100 indicator telling them it's AI. It's so frustrating, y'all. Frustrating for me. NEO is AI. He is AI, true AI. He's not Pine Script. He's coded, right? Got the Python in there. Anybody that wants to know, he's powered by Gemini, right? We love Gemini from the powering aspect, but he's built into our own databases. We have to have an engine because obviously, AI is not easy to make your own AI. But it's driven by Gemini, but he's tailored how we want him through our own sites, right? Through our own stuff, our own secret sauce. The build that we have is ours, it's custom, and it's true AI. You can have a conversation with them all day. To your point, John, yes, he is integrated across our site. We have a few other things we're going to continue to integrate him, but he is already fully integrated into all of our trainings. So this part is awesome. This is the part absolutely nobody has right now. And so I will stand by that. We have a free course. If you go to the trading or the start here, when you first go to the website, you can see trading starter kit free. It was my passion when we started this company to say that I will not do any uh, things that you have to pay for until you've had time to try it out, right? And so you go in, check out the trading course. You can see I already passed it. For somebody who was asking the other day, we did end up adding a regenerate certificate. So if I hit regenerate certificate like that, it's going to reload that certificate, right? The certificate is going to be based on your name that is in your settings here, right? And so it's basing it off of that there. So if I were to add my full last name and everything, it's going to regenerate that certificate. So, but guys, this stuff, every course we build is like almost like a full university style. So here's a little snapshot of that. Guys, we don't do videos. I think that's, a thing of the past. And so when you open this up, it is fully audio, but I'm going to mute it. You can hear her talking.
Understanding
Full audiobook. It's page flips like this. This is our class. This is free. It's not very long, but it's going to give you the basics that you need if you know nothing, right? The best part is your question, John, on that is that you can ask him whatever questions you want. So let's say I get a little further into this. Let's do chapter 2. I think that one has some good. No, it's 3 that I wanted. Let's go to 3. Getting into some raw, volatility, liquidity, market traps, all that. Look down here, guys. Got questions? Ask NEO. Again, guys, NEO is your guide, coach, training instructor, mentor, friend, whatever, right? I can, as I'm going through this and I'm reading it, I can say things like, I don't understand compression versus expansion. And I can click the microphone. Hey, NEO, can you explain compression versus expansion? I don't really understand it. You just hit send.
Think of compression like a tightly coiled spring where price is moving slowly within a narrow range. It shows the market is building up energy before a potential move. Expansion is when that spring finally releases, causing price to break out with momentum and speed. It's the difference between waiting for the action to start and watching the move actually happen. Does that make the difference a bit clearer, or would you like to look at how we spot those moments on a chart?
And the beauty, guys, with NEO, again, he's full AI integrated. Oh, he's I triggered the mic again here. Let me turn that mic on. He's fully integrated, right? And so you can ask him to explain things at whatever level you want, right? So I can say, it's still a little unclear. Can you explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old? I'm literally just now starting out.
Think of compression like a group of kids huddled together in a small circle, whispering and not moving much. They're just waiting for the bell to ring so they can run and play. Expansion is when the bell rings and everyone suddenly runs in different directions as fast as they can.
It's
That
pretty
sudden burst of speed and energy is exactly what happens when the price breaks out of that tight spot. Does that simple picture make the difference between the huddle and the run easier to imagine?
And you can talk to him as much as you want here, guys. So you can talk to him as much as you want within here. Once you say something, you got the microphone on, off, right? And then you just send it. There's no limitations on the training. Once you're in the training, he is going to be hyper focused on your training. Our goal is to make sure you do not take any course, whether you pay for it or the free one, without fully understanding everything, right? And for those who want to know, even on a beginner course, I can tell him, no, that sounds good. I'm actually just checking. I am actually really experienced. I've traded for about 20 years. Can you explain that same thing, but in a more institutional logic?
In institutional terms, compression represents a localized zone of order absorption where participants are systematically building a position and resting liquidity. It's a period of volatility contraction where the market is effectively winding the coil to facilitate a larger move. Expansion occurs when that structural imbalance is resolved, triggering a rapid sweep of resting stop-loss liquidity and forcing price to reprice toward the next area of value. You're effectively seeing the transition from a balanced, range-bound state to an aggressive, trend-driven expansion of range. Does this perspective on order flow and liquidity absorption align with your experience, or would you like to explore how we identify these areas on a chart?
So again, guys, if you notice, when we're in here, I can make this as complicated or simple as I want, right? Does that make sense? I don't know if John was still on. Yeah, I see you still on here, John. Does that make sense, John? Or do you have questions on that? It's pretty cool. I think you're gonna really love it, man. So our goal in this community has been to cater to every skill level, right? I don't care if you're advanced, institutional thinking, brand new. Maybe you just came across this feed and you're like, "What's this guy talking about? This seems pretty cool. I want to trade." Always had an itch to think about it. This is where you're gonna want to be, guys. Brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new. So, and we have advanced stuff in there too, right? So we have a lot of courses that we're continuing to put on. The most recent one we put out was the ICT. I have a CRT, AMD, order flow, other courses that we got coming behind it. This one is if you're looking for just foundational structure stuff within trading itself, right? And the beauty of this, guys, is when you click on these things here, yeah, check it out, man. Let me know. When you have VIP or the mentor group, guys, anybody in my mentor group, you're going to get access to this for free because I don't believe in charging anybody that I'm mentoring or anybody that's in VIP for any trading course that we do ever. So anybody that's out there paying crazy amount of money for trading course, stop. So you just literally, our site is 100% automated on this. So you just click it and notice I just went in, made access, and bam, there it is. So this is our NQ futures. All of our stuff, guys, I'm gonna mute the audio. It is
Lesson
gonna talk.
4.
Very, very detailed courses, guys. This is not your fly by night. I just made a video. And every single thing is integrated into NEO, right? And so when I come in here, and I want to ask him something again, it could be as simple or as easy as you want, guys. He is AI. Do not be shy of asking him things, right? So I can tell him again, we'll do one more example before we get to our development side. Sounds good. I'm actually going to be learning this part of the training, so I'm a little confused. Can you break down what sweep, micro, BOS, breakout, and BOL spike is? Like I'm a 5-year-old.
A sweep is like someone quickly swiping a toy off a shelf to grab everyone's attention before putting it back. It's a fast move that grabs orders resting at a level and then immediately moves the other way. A micro boss, break of structure, is like a small step forward in a race. It shows the price has successfully made a new local high or low, proving which team is currently winning. A breakout is like a kid finally breaking through a gate they were leaning against. It's when the price stops hovering and really starts moving with a purpose. A volatility spike is just a sudden, loud burst of activity. It's like when everyone in the room starts shouting or running at once, causing the price to move much faster than usual. Does thinking of the market like a playground make those terms feel a bit more familiar?
It does. I'm just curious how complicated trading can be. Can you explain that exact same thing, but at a more institutional level?
A sweep is a liquidity event where price intentionally violates a structural level to harvest resting stop orders, facilitating institutional position accumulation before a reversal. It's an exercise in inducing retail participants to take the wrong side of the trade before the primary move begins. A micro boss signifies a shift in order flow control, indicating that the market has successfully sustained a breach of a recent minor pivot. This validates that the prevailing participant sentiment is strong enough to push price beyond previous short-term constraints. A breakout represents a significant expansion in range where price moves beyond a key value area, suggesting the market has found a new equilibrium or is repricing toward higher conviction liquidity. It reflects a state where supply or demand has clearly overwhelmed the opposing side, causing a sustained shift in price location. A volatility spike is an accelerated expansion in range, typically.
I'm gonna mute him. So you guys see what I mean? Like we can say the same thing, but just make it sound really cool, right? But it's the same thing. And you can ask him deeper. It doesn't have to be, guys. He's not reading from the page. He's AI.
And order
Watch.
flow dictate
When he's
price
done, I'm gonna
movement,
show
help
one last thing.
clarify why these events occur.
Can you break down how that's important when I'm choosing my entries and exits? Because I want to apply this into a real world trade, and I think I understand it.
Identifying a sweep helps you avoid getting trapped. Wait for the price to show it has cleared those orders before entering in the direction of the new bias. Similarly, a micro boss confirms your thesis is working, giving you a logical point to add size or tighten your risk. Breakouts and volatility spikes are your signal that the move is gaining momentum, which is the perfect time to look for exits at the next liquidity level. Use these events to keep your trades aligned with the actual flow of the market rather than fighting against it. Does it help to think of these as your traffic lights for when it's safe to enter or time to take your profits?
See what I mean, guys? You don't. It's not like he's just reading the trading. He's still AI. Do not hesitate to ask him questions. Right? Do not go through a training without understanding it entirely. So, but that's the training, guys. It's all available. Our training is not expensive. If you're not part of the VIP or mentor, guys, it's $30 for these training. So you all out there that are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. And I had one person, it was funny, they came back and they're like, man, I went through the ICT course and the lessons and all this stuff. He's like, the whole thing, because he's not part of a program. He's like, cost me a couple $100. He's, I literally spent ten to $20,000 on this same type of education, and I learned more from this than that, right? Guys, the days of y'all paying crazy prices to learn stuff is gone. So, if you want to get started, whether you're new, learning, experience, whatever, it's all there. So, yeah, it's crazy, right? And so, but guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here soon. So we do have a couple things. I got a few minutes before I join into our development session. So we do multiple sessions within our community. Currently, we're in the open session. You can see here we have the open session. It's pretty easy. You can click on that. Then after this, we go into what's called the development session. So the development session is 11 to 1 as part of my development program. You can click on that development program if you want to join that. Again, that one I think is like $100 a month on that. And so, if you're interested in any kind of mentorship, I'll cover that. We are getting really close to my 50. Once I get to 50, we're going to be creating a waiting list. So, if you're looking for any kind of mentoring, it doesn't cost you anything to just click that you're interested and we get on a call and talk about it. That's all. So, mentoring, I'll tell you guys, and the people in my mentor program will tell you, I am not very shy to give you all whatever tools you need to ensure that you have the full support to be successful. So if the mentoring gets full or you're not interested in that, the VIP gives our total access of the site. So anything other than mentoring, right, you get access to that. Everything just gets unlocked. So we do create our own indicators for people that love the indicators. This is our indicator list. You can kind of look through those as you like them. We do have the kind of a buy sell signal one within there for people that like that. Talks about it. The beauty is all I have to do when I'm in the VIP is click this and I'll do the access. So currently I was playing with my subscriptions. It must have took my VIP away. And so it has a price. But if there's no price, guys, you just unlock it, kind of like how we did the trading course. So, but check it out, guys. Again, and if you want to watch NEO, you guys can come in here. If you're trading MNQ, this feed is 100% free, and it will stay that way. So, Any last questions, guys, from TikTok before I jump off? Because we do got to run. I am going to go live a little later. Look for me live because I'm going to do like a little anybody that wants to ask Neo questions kind of thing. So aside from that, guys, good job today. And TikTok, we'll see you guys a little bit later. I'll probably go live a little later this afternoon. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Good job today. See ya. Man, that it's kind of weird, man. It's like it's slowly kind of letting me back into some traction. Hey, I appreciate you guys kind of hanging out. I know most of us were pretty much done. That's why I was kind of just finishing that up. But can anybody do me a favor in here and go to my YouTube and uh, see if you see me live and then try to join it? I've been playing with YouTube and like, man, nobody joins this thing. I don't know if I have a setting wrong or just maybe it's the algo's different. I'm trying to learn that, but it's really difficult to get into the algo stream of YouTube, man. But I just want to see if I can even see y'all come in and chat and type and talk and make sure I'm not doing something wrong. You can see like I don't think anybody's joined. Now our YouTube's only got like 30 some odd people, but if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, I would appreciate it if you did. A couple other things.
I'm
Facebook,
in.
you are in. See, I don't see anybody in. I see the like. Okay. I seen you type. Okay. So again, I heavily appreciate all of y'all's support as I'm learning this thing. From time to time, if you guys are able throughout the days or when I'm live in the mornings, just maybe join and throw a few things in there and see. I don't know what to do on YouTube. TikTok is not as hard, but YouTube is like, man, it's tough to get into any kind of traction in there. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and end that one. I still do it for the recording,